Alrighty, and we're back with another video on the Breeze XR6. Now, the last video I did on this car was ripping the interior out and cleaning up the floor pan and putting the other piece of carpet back in with the manky floor mat. Now, I never got that completely back together because that carpet pissed me off. It looked good in there, it was nice and clean, but it was just bugging me that it was the wrong piece of carpet, so I ended up sourcing another one. Now, I have been working on it over the last sort of couple of weeks, just when I can. I work full time, so trying to find time to do this, and lately I've been doing quite a few hours, but trying to find time to do this and record has been a bit of a challenge. So I haven't filmed any of it, but as I mentioned, I did get that other piece of carpet out and replaced it with another piece. So all the interior is actually all back together now, as it should be. The only thing I need to do now is get plastics for the two front seats. So one for the driver's one, which you can buy new, but the passenger one, I think I might have to try and find. So if you're in Perth and you've got any of those, hit us up, because yeah, I might grab them. Now, also, I did end up buying another door card for this car, but this is the original door card that came off it. It was in better condition than the one that I bought. So what I've done is I've actually gone and bought one of those aftermarket armrests and fitted that to it, and it's fitted up perfectly. I haven't clipped in the window switch yet because I'm having issues with one of the windows, the back passenger one. So when they're all working, because I know that at the pits they make sure they're working at the switch and at the master switch. So I'll just leave that out until it's all finished. But as I said, all the interior is now back together and looking pretty good actually. It's all come up really well. I managed to find another ZF shifter whole assembly, so I didn't have to take out the gold thing and paint that, which was good. I did end up buying the new letters for the gold one, but I didn't end up changing that obviously, so I've still got the new letters if they pick those at the pits. If not, I'll just hang on to them for now. And as you can see, I got rid of that manky gold ICC. I changed out the backlights in this ICC. This is out of my Fairmont, so it had the white lights in it, but it's now got the XR6 lights. So it's all done. The only issue with this screen, or this ICC, is the screen is damaged. I'll give you a look. So it's beautiful, in awesome condition, but when it comes on, you can see there's a line through the screen. So that's the only problem with it. I knew that was there because this screen is out of another car, and I've just kept this one in the shed. I've always used the good screens and had this one as a backup. The screen that came out of this does work, so all the display works, but it's all manky and flaky, so I think I'd rather look at this one rather than the ugly thing, because this interior has come up really well. Now, I've wiped down the dash, but it did have sort of some sort of cement stuff stuck to the dash, so I'm gonna have to go over that again with some spray. But I am considering maybe getting a dash mat for this, just to cover up the clock, because yeah, the sun is what makes these things brittle, and that's what makes them break. And when I put the clocks in, I never put the clips back on these, even with the triangles. I just sit them in there. They're just too much of a hassle. If you really want something in there, you just put a bit of cloth tape over the little pegs that hold it in, and that makes it a bit of a tighter fit. You need to put a few pieces on, but yeah, much better than using the actual clips that tend to keep these things stuck and cause them to break when you try and get them out. I've also taken all of the cluster out, separated the plastic from the cluster and given everything a good clean and wiped all in behind there. Changed out the AC vents. I've pretty much changed everything. Whole console was changed, and every piece was cleaned before it went back together. So it's come up really, really well. I'm really happy with it. Only thing left to do is try and clean up the hood lining a little bit. I haven't even attempted that yet, but yeah, it's not really an issue. That's something I'll probably do right before I go to sell this thing. It's not going to hold the car up from being registered. So it's now Tuesday. I'm hoping to have this thing in roughly next Friday for its first inspection. I just want to give myself a bit of time because there's a few things I need to do. I need to get a washer motor because the washer motor's cooked. I need to find one of those. I'll probably just buy a new one and I'll have to wait for postage. And I've also got to get the brakes on this thing. I've got them in the shed, new brakes, rotors and pads for front and back. Just need the time to do that. So trying to book the car in for next week will give me plenty of time to get those things done. Now, I have been running down the road in this just to keep the battery charged, keep the engine running. Everything here mechanically has been awesome. I'm hoping that transmission holds out. It's been super smooth, so When it's been over the pits and registered, I'm going to be driving this thing as a daily just so I can get used to the transmission and make sure I know that it's good before I go sort of moving the car on, because that is the plan. But yeah, it's been running pretty good so far. Well, it's been running awesome. Now, cosmetically, the car's looking really good. Just needs that little bit of love that it hasn't had for a while. The only real bad part with it is the actual, this quarter panel, as you can see, the front guard. It had its first wash this morning with soapy water, and it come up really well. It got all the chalky stuff off, as you can see. And I've just been out here this afternoon. I took the front bumper off, changed the the glass in the fog light. One of the fog lights was broken. So I've swapped the glass over and fixed all that up so that everything's working now, and got all the front put back on. And as you can see, I just got a bit anxious and wanted to test the bonnet, polishing up the bonnet and see how it come up. So I just did a little test panel here, and I went a bit further than I probably should have. But yeah, that's the result we're getting from a single cut with the polisher, just using the Maguire stuff. As you can see there, that's the chalky, how it was, that finish. And one cut with the polisher has come up like that. Now all I'm using is the stuff I always use. I mean, there's obviously probably going to be way better stuff out there, but this is good because you can just buy it down at super cheap, Autobarn, and it's cheap. You can easily get your hands on it. And it does a good enough job for at home. Obviously, it's not a show car, so, you know, you're not going to expect the best results, but for what I'm after, it's certainly doing the job. And like I said, that's the first stage. Once I've cut the whole car back with the compound, I'll go over it with this polish, and it brings it up even nicer, just a bit more refined. Now, I did run out of compound this afternoon, so I've just stopped there, which is fine. I was hoping to get the bonnet done, but yeah, as you can see, didn't quite get there. But that's cool. I've got to get some more compound and get that finished. But that's just cosmetic things. That's not important. I don't need to do that before the pits. It's just, yeah, I just wanted to see how it was going to come up. And another thing I did while the bumper was off is I polished up the headlights today as well. I did the same thing with the cutting compound, or Maguire's compound. And then I just went over them with a little bit of ceramic coating, which I had left over from my car. And they've come up pretty good. So hopefully they'll hold up for a while and stay clear. So that's pretty much it. Just those few things to do. Just clean it up now. I'll probably get some of the cleaning up done over the next week while it's waiting for the pits. The only thing to do, like I said, is the brakes, which I can do. It's only, you know, a few hours work. So no real problem. And as you can see, I've got a wing on it now as well. So I had to put a wing on because there's no sort of eye view brake light. Now that's all sorted. I'll paint this later at a later date with spray cans. You can use the 2K spray cans and they come up really good. I've done one before. So we'll get that painted the same colour down the track when it's on the road. But one thing I am in a bit of a conundrum with this car is this rear bumper. Now my issue is I've got one of these bumpers in the shed, which has been for my car. I've had it for about 3 years now. But the thing is, it's the same colour as this car. So what I'm possibly thinking of doing is using the bumper, because all these are is just a normal XR bumper, and this skirt here separates. It unclips from the bumper itself. So what I'm thinking of doing is unclipping my bottom skirt, which is in mint condition, and using the top half for this car because it's the same colour and it's in really good condition. And that'll save me piss farting around with finding a bumper, replacing it, painting it, whatever I need to do to get this sorted, because I've got one in the shed. Only thing is, I don't really know if I want to go separating that, because I know there's metal clips on these skirts and I don't know how easy or hard they are to separate. So if anybody's actually separated one of these before and thinks it's worth doing, if you could let me know, that'd be good, because that's what I'm thinking of doing. But at the same time, I don't know if I really want to, because I don't know if I want to risk damaging the one I've got in the shed or not. So that's one thing I need to sort of make up my mind on. But it would be good because it would get this rear end sorted. Only thing left would be that gold skirt, and I'll just leave that. I'm not going to worry about painting it or anything. It is what it is. And as for the rest of the car, it's just that chalky finish on it, exactly the same as the bonnet. So if it can come up anything like the bonnet, I'll be very happy, very happy. As you can see, that's what it was like. Now I do need to go over it and give it a good detail, clean all the windows and everything, but all that sort of stuff will be done once it's on the road, like I've said before. Pretty happy with where it's at right now. Now it's just a matter of getting it on the road and getting it licensed. I may get some footage in between now and then. We'll see how we go, depends on what I do with the thing. But yeah, like I said, it's been hard to film lately. So the last couple of days I've finally got a chance to get out and do some stuff to it, so which has been good. That's it, just a little update video on where this thing is at. There seemed to be a lot of interest in this car, I'm guessing because of the colour. So yeah, I just thought I'd do a little video and show where we're at with it. It's still here, still in one piece, just. Hopefully next week we'll be looking at getting it back on the road. Fingers crossed. You.